In the previous episode of the Kaiserslautern Career Mode, we signed a defender with experience in the Bundesliga and leagues abroad in Kim Min-jae. We signed Leonardo Lasso, another talented free agent prospect with 4-star skill moves and a 5-star weak foot. Despite some promising results in the league, including a 3-0 win against RB Leipzig, we were unfortunately knocked down the Deutscher Pokal 2-0 to Darmstadt. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Flick here. Welcome back to another episode of our FIFA 20 Kaiserslautern Career Mode series. This is episode number 10, and today we'll be looking to complete season 5 and our second season in the Bundesliga. But before we look to complete a very important second half of this league campaign, let's hop into a press conference. We're going to get straight to the point for today's press conference question. What are my aspirations for the squad? And pretty much my sole objective for this second half of the season is to qualify for Europe next year. As a result, we have a lot of things to factor in, such as where we currently are in the league, whether the squad we have right now is good enough to maintain our league position, or whether we need to make immediate improvements in the January transfer window. From my perspective, I would consider our Kaiserslautern squad to be at a Europa League level with a couple of different Champions League quality players mixed in there. For example, I think Grill, Adams, Ballack, Schmitz, and Klose are all good enough right now to be playing at a Champions League level, but we have a couple of other players like Bella Kochup and Whaler who within a few seasons should be at a similar path. So I think my immediate plans right now are to maintain our current squad, save up some funds, and hopefully qualify for Europa League next year, and that way we should be able to attract more players into the squad. But if y'all are enjoying this Kaiserslautern series, a like on the video is always appreciated and is a tremendous help to my channel. Also, if you're new around here or haven't yet subscribed, you can do so right under the video at any point. It's free, and it is the best way to ensure that you don't miss out on any of these Kaiserslautern uploads. I also have links to my social pages in the description below. While my plan is to save up funds for the transfer market, I don't see any reason we can't browse what players are available on a pre-contract, and if there are any realistic signings, then we can have an immediate improvement to the squad at the start of season 6. If we look through our starting 11, Gozens at the left mid position is our lowest overall player, and he's also 29 years old, so he shouldn't get much higher than a 78 or a 79 overall. I think that would be all right for Europa League, but I do want to think about our long-term plans, and there should be a wide variety of left wing options available. I was pleasantly surprised to find that for our squad file, which is a slightly older one in FIFA 20, Francis Amuzu has reached an 80 overall at 24 years old. The left winger from Anderlecht looks to be a perfect option for us. I like the versatility that Amuzu offers, a 4-star skill move, 5-star weak foot set. And also, we've primarily signed defensive left midfielders. I want to switch things up and sign someone that can attack well moving forward. This pre-contract deal was also well within our budget. We signed Amuzu as an important first-team player, 3-year deal worth 35 grand a week. It has been a minute since we last talked about departures from the club, and I completely agree. We should probably let some players leave that aren't featuring for us. So 5 different transfers to talk about: Kuhlwetter, Otto, Kraus, as well as Gottwald and Gozutok. Cumulatively, those departures will total about 5 million in transfer funds, and who knows, maybe those extra funds will make the difference for us in future seasons. I don't have a whole lot of scouting updates to share, but I do want to make sure we're all on the same page in regards to where we're sending our youth scouts. So still networks being set up in Mexico, Canada, as well as Germany. But I am feeling a change in regards to which countries to send our scouts to. So if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments section, preferably countries that we haven't yet set up a scouting network in, and hopefully we can find a couple more promising players in this career mode. We have made a few updates to our player training. Bella Kochup is now working on his passing. Previously, he was working on his defending, but we want to make sure our players are well-rounded. Adams will be working on his defending. Schmitz, we're just trying to see out whatever statistics he isn't high enough already in, so we're working on a bronze drill there. Boom and Whaler both working on their long passing. Our second set will go towards Long, Pereyu, Siegmund, Mathis, and Mikkel. And finally, some training for both of our backup goalkeepers in Graf and Longer, as well as this season's free agent signing Lasso. We only have 3 icon updates to talk about, but I would argue these are pretty significant transfers, as Drogba has made the move to Gyankomp for 110,000. Guardiola will begin the Italian portion of his career as he joined Brescia on a free. And finally, Hernandez will make another transfer within North America as he joined America. As a reminder, we have been knocked out of the Deutscher Pokal, so all of today's gameplay episodes will be from the league. We'll see if this squad is capable enough of holding our current league position and qualifying for Europe next season. As much as possible for these league matches, I tried to highlight opponents that we hadn't yet played in this Kaiserslautern Career Mode, but interesting stuff here as Leverkusen signed Håland but are playing him as a center midfielder. You definitely see some weird things a few seasons into Career Mode, and that was no different here, but we'll get off to a good start with Lammers utilizing a Burba spin, which used to be one of my all-time favorite skill moves. I don't use it quite as often these days, but every now and then I'll pull it out. Boom gets a chance on the right side, and of course he'll be finishing that on the near post. He's been so effective from the right flank, and it's a shame his overall isn't quite as high as the rest of the players in our squad. We'll get very lucky here in the 28th minute. Some good build-up play from Leverkusen, but we get bailed out via the post and frantically clear that chance away, generating another opportunity. And I've got to say, this was an eventful first half. Both of the goalkeepers were making good saves or positioning themselves correctly to make it difficult for the attackers, including this save from Perrin, stopping a clear goal scoring chance for Klose. While Perrin was making life harder than it needed to be for us, I figured once we get the second goal, we should be able to see this match out. And this is the chance for us as Bala creates some space the hard way, pushing a player over and volleys that one in off of the corner. One of the strangest goals I've seen in this career mode. I was definitely surprised that wasn't called back for a foul, but we'll absolutely take those chances and try to make it 3 here with Whaler, but some good defense from Leverkusen. And again, here on the left side, we haven't been utilizing Gozens too much, but unfortunately Whaler was a bit inconsistent. That time it was on his non-preferred right foot and he couldn't get that chance on target, but Grill made sure we held on to the clean sheet. This is his best save by far, getting fingertips to it and then deflecting it off of the post. Those are my favorite kind of saves to witness. We showed it in the last episode against Leipzig, but here again, we are beating top 4 sides, showing that we can hang with some of the best teams in the Bundesliga. I'm not sure I would consider this match against Frankfurt a derby, but both clubs are around the same region in Germany, so this match had some importance. Once again, we'll start this match with some high tempo play. Our attackers linking up so well in this episode. Unfortunately, Klose unable to finish that chance on the near post. And it didn't take long for Bohm to get involved. We were trying to go with another near post effort, but the touch was a bit too heavy, and that's the lower overall rating kind of factoring in. But good stop and turn from Schmitz to Adams, eventually over to Lammers, utilizing that 5-star weak foot and bearing that chance really well. Now that we are using Klose's actual icon statistics, I've been trying to replicate his playstyle as best as possible in game. Of course, that means scoring some headers. Finally, we get one from a non-set piece. It's so hard to score headers this year, guys. And to finally score that one with Klose, it was an emotional moment. He left up so high, and there's no way the defender is going to contest that. It seemed like everything was working for us in this fixture because Lammers will get involved once again in the 26th minute, making it 3-0 for us. I don't think we've gotten off to a stronger start so far in this career mode, and we have our strikers to credit for that. We'll try to make it 4 with Schmitz, but unfortunately gets held up a little bit by the defense there and can't finish this chance. I'm not sure if it was me playing more conservative with my defense or whether it was Frankfurt upping their tempo, but they're slowly going to start working away at this lead, making it 3-1 the 65th minute. I was a little bit concerned at this point. Belotti is a dangerous attacker and a pretty quality one at that. And then the game is going to start factoring in because we should have won that header. This one goes off the post and we can't clear it off the line. 3-2 within a matter of a few minutes. And guys, I was very concerned at this point as we see the instant replay. I think you have a feeling what might happen as we play this one back to the goalkeeper. You've seen a couple of goalkeeper mistakes throughout this career mode. This is probably the worst one I've seen. I just wish goalkeepers were more responsive in FIFA 20. They shouldn't be taking that big of a touch. I know they're not going to have the best technical ability, but when you have a striker closing down on you like Belotti was there, just get the ball away. Anyways, this must have been a fun match to watch from a neutral perspective. 3-0 down for Frankfurt, and eventually they bring it back to 3-3 and get a draw. I would consider Düsseldorf to be an up-and-coming side in the Bundesliga. They made a good signing at striker in Josh Sargent. But with the form our attackers have been on, there is not going to be a whole lot that can stop us moving forward. Klose will bury this easy chance in the 9th minute, and if you can go 1-0 up against the CPU, your life is going to be a whole lot easier, and that's part of the reason why we're able to score so many goals in the last few matches. Here, Klose to Schmitz, trying to make it 2, but it's a good save by the Düsseldorf keeper. Here, Lammers to Klose, and that's just some great passing play, leading Schmitz exactly where he needed to be, and it's going to be an easy finish. But you knew we had to get Timo Bohm involved eventually from this right-hand side, showcasing some of his skill moves here, and he does draw a penalty. It was a pretty clear-cut one, as he more or less just stabbed at the ball and ended up getting Bohm's feet. But we'll have Klose take this one. He has converted a lot of his penalties. If you exclude the ones in penalty shootouts, I think he's gotten every single one. But he'll aim this one to the right. Tried to green time this one. Unfortunately, couldn't do that, but it was still buried to make it 3-0 for us in the 44th minute. But I would say our play in the second half of this match was really where it got exciting, as this is a contender for goal this season. Off a half volley, Klose is going to net that chance. It was a good setup by Lammers as well, just doing a lofted LBY pass, and it worked out perfectly. I think I learned a few lessons after that fixture against Frankfurt. I cannot let up on the gas and just need to keep pushing forward and trying to score goal after goal. This was just some sloppy play by us, and we weren't able to clear it out properly. As a result, we do concede a goal, and we won't be able to hang on to the clean sheet in this one. But Girl was still playing a pretty good match, and I don't think our defense really allowed that to affect them too much, as again, we pushed right back, trying to get a 5th goal. Whaler using that ball roll to the left and then shooting on his preferred left foot. That's worked out really well. That's exactly how he was able to score against Bayern Munich in the Pokal within the last few seasons, and he does it again here. One more highlight in the 84th minute. Unfortunately, Siegmund is unable to properly clear that chance, and Sargent gets on the goal sheet as he makes it 5-2 for Düsseldorf. More or less a consolation goal, because at this point, there's no way they will be getting back into the match. But if you total all the goals we have scored across these fixtures, I think this has been our best form attacking-wise in this career mode. That's 10 goals across 3 games, which is 3 1/3 goals per match. Our league position had more or less been secured going into the last match of the Bundesliga campaign, so for this final fixture, I thought it would be a good opportunity to send off 2 of our retiring players, Sven Bender and Manfred Stark. Both of these players have played a big role in this career mode, Bender being our first big signing in the Bundesliga and Stark being one of the original Kaiserslautern players. But just because we've rotated our side and utilized players that didn't feature so much in the second half of the season, I still wanted to win against Augsburg. In addition to that, this will be a good opportunity for you all to see where some of our Youth Academy graduates are at, like Long. Haven't been able to see him too much outside the Pokal, but he made a perfectly timed tackle right there, just choosing the right opportunity to move forward on that attacker and kind of bait him in. But here, Stark playing it off to Ballack, still trying to score that long shot goal, and we nearly do get it off of the deflection. Unfortunately, this is a pretty poor miss from Ballack. Coming off high-scoring matches, it was unusual to experience a 0-0 scoreline 80 minutes in, but eventually it's Stark to assist Klose. We have seen that link up since season 1 of this career mode, and that will be a great send-off to Stark's career, playing a role in his final Kaiserslautern match, and this is a good finish as well from Klose. Looked kind of awkward on the instant replay, but we'll absolutely take it. That also means we'll complete our 2nd Bundesliga season and 5th season total in this career mode with another victory, and I am really optimistic of how this Kaiserslautern squad will fare in the Europa League next year. It was an emotional end to the season as we saw a couple of players leave the club, but I want to give credit where it's due. The entire squad performed admirably, and we managed to achieve a quality 5th place finish in the Bundesliga. While the gap between us and the top 4 clubs in the Bundesliga is still pretty significant at 11 points, we were 10 points clear of 6th place Wolfsburg, so we're knocking on the door of Champions League football. As for the bottom half of the table, it looks like the newly promoted sides had a difficult time this season, as Hamburg, Düsseldorf, and Hanover were the bottom 3. Klose, Ballack, and Schmitz have all played an integral part in this career mode, and it's great to see that it showed off for their statistics this season. Klose was our top goal scorer with 18 goals from 36 matches. Ballack was right behind him with 15 from 36, and Schmitz was not too far off with 13 goals from 35 matches. We almost saw a reverse in the order for the top assist category, but the same 3 players as Schmitz led the way with 9 assists from 35 matches. Klose had the same amount of assists as Schmitz, but he played 1 more match, so I gave him the 2nd place spot. And Ballack comes through in the 3rd place position with 5 assists from 36 matches. You can't complain about witnessing a Der Klassiker in the final of the Pokal. Dortmund were victorious in this competition as they beat Bayern 2-1 in the final. I'm happy to report that Köln did win the Schweizer Bundesliga, so hopefully as they make their way back to the Bundesliga next year, they'll achieve a better campaign. It was pretty abysmal from them last season with something like 3 points. But Nuremberg will be joining them, but potentially also Union Berlin, depending on how the promotion playoff final goes. As for the relegation zone, it's Osnabrück and Wiesbaden being sent down. Speaking of the promotion playoff final, it was a pretty close contest, but Hamburg were victorious due to away goals, so they'll be staying up in the Bundesliga next season. Look at the Dritte Liga, we'll see Ingolstadt and Sandhausen being promoted, And for the relegation zone, Meppen Erdogan were bottom. It's good to see that a few more of our players are breaking into the top 15 for top scorers in the league. Klose led the way for us in 6th place with 17 goals from 34 matches. Schmitz in 13th with 13 from 33, and Ballack in 14th with 12 from 34. 2 players for us will feature in the top 15. Schmitz in 6th with 9 assists from 33 matches. Klose in 8th with 8 assists from 34. Yet again, we'll see a respectable outing from Grill in this year's campaign, as he had the 4th most clean sheets in the league, 15 clean sheets from 33 matches. This year's changes in overall growth has me rethinking some of my plans for the future of our squad. I didn't expect Preu to be growing at the rate he is, and he might end up being one of our future first team center backs. He does have potential to be special, and although we signed him pretty late, he keeps growing at this sort of rate, then we'll see what happens in a season or two. Lasso, also really good growth from him. We've been working on some of his more technical drills, and hopefully he can continue his progress. I know you all are very interested in the growth of both Long and Sigmund, because I've been hyping them up for quite a while. And unfortunately, they aren't growing quite as quickly as I wanted them to, but I wouldn't count them out yet. If they have some better growth next year, I still think they'll be ready to be in our first team come season, I think it would be 8. So not next season, but the season after that. Actually, now that I think about it, season 7, not season 8, will be our target. This is the part of the episode where we usually talk about Youth Academy promotions, icon retirees, as well as icon regens, but there just weren't any this season, guys. I wasn't happy with our Youth Academy findings, and we didn't have any icons retiring. So we'll get straight into the board objectives and how we did. Youth development, didn't really focus it on this season, and we're still at a decent manager rating. So we'll move on to the brand exposure. We did complete the short-term objective of that. Financially, we met that objective, and domestically, we actually were able to meet all those. I thought we would have failed the Pokal one, but we were all good there. That brings us to the end of season 5, as well as the squad outlook for season 6. The board, of course, was happy with how we performed this season, is looking to keep us on board. This is what our squad will look like in season 6 with the arrival of Amuzu. You can see that we also have a few players out on international duty. And I think it would be pretty cool if once we finish the Kaiserslautern part of this career mode, we took on some sort of national team job. I think it would be awesome if we took the German national team offer and were able to manage both Ballack and Klose for die Mannschaft, as well as any German prospects that we sign in this career mode. I'm having a hard time deciding which areas of the squad we should improve. I don't really want to replace Bohm because he's been such a huge player in this career mode, but I know his overall is a little bit lower relative to the rest of the squad, so maybe we'll have to just do that out of necessity. So if you have any right wing suggestions, let me know in the comments section, but Bohm will always be a part of this squad, whether it be in the starting 11 or the substitutes. If you have enjoyed this episode of the Kaiserslautern Career Mode, feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, but until next time, this has been Flick. I'll be talking to y'all again soon.